the equilibrium at Phantom's Hollow had been restored, and under my watchful guidance, the community flourished. Yet the peace was not meant to last. One cold evening, as a gentle snowfall blanketed the city and the Hollow buzzed with the warm glow of laughter and conversation, an unexpected visitor arrived, casting a shadow that chilled the air beyond the winter's touch. The door opened quietly, but the presence that entered was anything but. Tall and enigmatic, draped in a cloak that seemed woven from the night sky, the figure paused at the threshold, surveying the room with eyes glittered like distant stars. The usual hum of the bar dimmed as patrons sensed the magnitude of power this new visitor wielded. "Welcome to Phantom's Hollow," I approached with cautious hospitality, aware of the ripple of tension spreading through the room. "How may we serve you tonight?" The figure's gaze fixed on me, and when he spoke, his voice was deep and resonant, carrying an echo that seemed to reverberate through the dimensions. "I seek the guardian of the Hollow. I have come with a warning and a plea." Realizing the moment's seriousness, I led him to a private corner of the bar, signaling to Vincent to keep an eye on the other patrons. "I am the guardian. What warning do you bring to us?" "My name is Tharion from the Depths of Mirath," the visitor introduced himself, his cloak shifting as if reflecting the movements of unseen waters. "A dark force long imprisoned beneath the sea of my world has stirred. It seeks the power of the crossroads, the energies that converge at this very point. If it escapes, it threatens not just my world, but all worlds connected by this nexus." The gravity of his words weighed heavily in the air. The Hollow, a sanctuary and meeting point, now stood as a beacon for something potentially catastrophic. "What can we do to prevent this?" I asked, determined to protect the Hollow and its community. Tharion laid a map on the table, lines intertwining like the threads of fate. "We must seal the breach from both sides. I will address the containment on Mirath, but I need you to fortify the energies here to ensure nothing can use this nexus as a gateway." Understanding the task at hand, I gathered my team. We spent the next hours planning, using every piece of arcane knowledge and magical resources. The community of Phantom's Hollow, once merely a diverse clientele, now became active participants in safeguarding their haven. As the preparations unfolded, Elias and I led the efforts, weaving complex spells and reinforcing ancient wards. The patrons contributed too, some offering their own spells, others lending their energy to the collective shield we constructed. The night grew long, and the work was grueling, but a sense of accomplishment filled the air as dawn approached. We had fortified Phantom's Hollow, turning it from a potential breach point into a bastion of protection. Tharion, having completed his part of the task remotely, reappeared at the Hollow to confirm the success of our efforts. "The danger has been averted, thanks to your leadership and the unity of your allies," he announced to the room, his voice carrying a note of deep respect. The relief was palpable among the patrons, and as Tharion departed, promising continued vigilance from his side, the Hollow erupted in subdued celebration. The crisis had brought everyone closer, each individual now deeply invested in the safety and legacy of their sanctuary. As the day broke and the patrons departed, I reflected on the events. Phantom's Hollow was more than my responsibility. It was a testament to the strength of the community and the unyielding power of collective effort. Walking home in the crisp morning air, the first rays of sunlight sparkling on the freshly fallen snow, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and pride. Phantom's Hollow was not just a bar. It was a fortress at the crossroads of worlds, guarded by a family of heroes drawn from every corner of the universe. With the Hollow now a fortified beacon against cosmic threats, life within its walls resumed its vibrant rhythm. Yet, beneath the surface, a sense of curiosity and unresolved questions lingered among the patrons and staff alike. The recent events opened everyone's eyes to the deeper intricacies and potential dangers threaded through the multiverse. It wasn't long before that undercurrent of curiosity led to a new challenge. One quiet evening, as a soft rain pattered against the windows, creating a soothing backdrop to the Hollow's usual hum, an old, forgotten section of the archives was discovered during a routine cleaning. Hidden behind a false wall, this section contained scrolls and artifacts that predated even the oldest records in the existing archives. Excited by the find, I immediately organized a small team, including Elias and a few trusted patrons well-versed in ancient magics, to explore these newly found treasures. Among the artifacts, a particular scroll caught our attention. It was sealed with an emblem that none of us recognized, an intertwining of a serpent and a staff, symbols of healing and wisdom, rendered in a style that suggested a deeper, hidden meaning. As we carefully opened the scroll, it revealed a map of ley lines and energy nodes far more complex than any previously known. It detailed intersections on Earth and across multiple dimensions, some of which were linked directly to the very spot where Phantom's Hollow stood. "This isn't just a map, it's a blueprint of cosmic architecture," Elias murmured, tracing a line that seemed to pulse as his finger moved over it. "And look here, this node is marked as the Heart. I believe it's referring to the Hollow itself." Intrigued and realizing the potential implications, we decided to delve deeper. Using the map as a guide, we planned an exploratory mission to trace some of these ley lines, understand how they influenced the nexus points, and consider what that meant for the Hollow and its protective measures. The expedition led us through the city and beyond, into areas long considered mundane, but now thrummed with unseen energy. Each node we visited resonated with the Hollow. As we charted our findings, a picture began to emerge of a vast and vital network essential to the structural integrity of the multiverse's fabric. Armed with this new knowledge, we returned to the Hollow, minds buzzing with theories and possibilities. Perhaps the Hollow wasn't just a random sanctuary, but a designed fulcrum meant to balance forces we were only beginning to comprehend. "This changes everything," I told the team as we gathered around the old map back in the Hollow. Our role might be even more critical than we realized. Phantom's Hollow isn't just a meeting place. It's a linchpin holding together the seams of realities. Motivated by our discoveries, we set out to enhance our understanding and protection of these ley lines. Workshops and discussions became the norm, with patrons contributing insights from their respective dimensions. The Hollow evolved into a research hub and a sanctuary, a place where knowledge and power converged to guard against the unknown. As the days passed, everyone at the Hollow grew in a sense of purpose. We were no longer just participants in a cosmic dance. We were its custodians, tasked with maintaining the rhythm and balance necessary to sustain the fabric of reality. Walking home one evening, the stars overhead seemingly winking in approval, I felt a profound connection to the Hollow and the entire cosmos. We were part of something monumental, a legacy of guardianship that transcended time and space. And I, Cora, once a simple bartender, now stood as a guardian at the heart of it all, ready to lead Phantom's Hollow into whatever future awaited us. With the revelation of Phantom's Hollow as a key nexus in the multiverse's structure, I and my team's responsibility of maintaining and understanding its influence became a central focus. However, as the Hollow grew in importance, so did the personal demands on each of us, particularly on me, as I navigated the dual demands of leadership and personal growth. As winter gave way to the crisp beginnings of spring, a renewal season that mirrored the Hollow's transformations, I found myself at a crossroads. Maintaining the balance between my role as the guardian of a cosmic nexus and my personal needs had never been more challenging. One evening, amid the usual buzz of interdimensional patrons, I took a rare moment to step outside onto the back terrace of the Hollow. The cool night air was a balm, and as I looked up at the star-studded sky, I felt a mingling of awe and exhaustion. The weight of my responsibilities was ever present, but so too was the wonder of what we had achieved. Then Elias joined me. His presence was always a comfort. "You're doing remarkable work, Cora," he began, his tone gentle. "But remember, even guardians need to rest. You've built a strong team. It's okay to lean on them." His words struck a chord. I had been so focused on the Hollow's cosmic role that I'd neglected my well-being. "I know, Elias. It's just hard to step back, knowing what's at stake." Elias nodded understandingly. "It's not just about stepping back, it's about stepping wisely. Trusting others to share the load doesn't diminish your leadership, it strengthens it." Inspired by his words, I consciously decided to delegate more and trust in the team's capabilities that I had nurtured. This allowed me to focus on strategic planning and personal development and allowed my team members to grow and take on more responsibilities. This shift had an immediate impact. The Hollow ran smoother, and I found more time to engage with individual patrons, listen to their stories, and learn from their experiences. This personal interaction was, after all, what had drawn me to the Hollow in the first place. One such interaction came unexpectedly but profoundly impacted me. One night, a young traveler from a newly discovered dimension approached me. Her world had recently encountered a rift similar to the ones we had dealt with, and she sought guidance. As I shared our experiences and the strategies we had developed, I saw in her the same determination and hope that had driven me when I first took on the role of guardian. Helping her reinforced the importance of the Hollow's mission and reminded me of the personal impact we could have. This meeting reaffirmed my belief in the balance of leadership, the cosmic intertwined with the personal, each enhancing the other. The Hollow wasn't just a nexus of energies, but a place of personal connections and growth, a true sanctuary. I felt rejuvenated as spring blossomed into full bloom, bringing a sense of renewal and possibilities. With a balanced approach to leadership, I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that Phantom's Hollow's strength lay in its cosmic significance and the community and personal connections it nurtured. Returning to the Hollow, refreshed from my brief respite, the familiar, comforting buzz of conversation and laughter greeted me. Phantom's Hollow and I were thriving, ready to continue our journey through the cosmos, grounded by the personal ties that made it all worthwhile. Phantom's Hollow had always been a melting pot of cultures and dimensions, where beings from across the multiverse gathered. With each patron came a story, and as I took a step back to better balance my responsibilities, I found more opportunities to delve into these fascinating tales, enriching both the community and my understanding of the worlds we served. One evening, Jorin, a traveler from a dimension known for its vast deserts and ancient magic, approached the bar with a weary smile. Temporal storms had ravaged his world, leaving him adrift among the stars. Phantom's Hollow became his anchor as he sought a way to restore his home. Over time, Jorin became a regular, his stories of desert spirits and sand-shifting castles captivating the patrons. I noticed his talent for storytelling and suggested he host a storytelling night at the Hollow. The event was a hit, providing Jorin a platform to share his culture and a way to gather support for his cause. The community rallied, offering resources and knowledge to help him return to his dimension. Mira, a pure energy being from a dimension of sound and light, was drawn to the Hollow's vibrant atmosphere, but struggled with corporeal forms. Her essence gradually faded each time she materialized. Seeing her plight, I consulted with Elias, and we devised a solution, a special amulet that helped Mira maintain her energy form without depletion. Grateful for our help, Mira offered to perform at the Hollow, creating symphonies of light and sound that were nothing short of magical. These performances became a major attraction and helped Mira connect with other energy beings who visited the Hollow, forming a small but tight-knit community within our walls. Kronos, a time wanderer who had seen the rise and fall of countless civilizations, frequented the Hollow to escape the loneliness of his eternal wanderings. His knowledge of historical events was unparalleled, and he often sat quietly in a corner, watching the ebb and flow of the crowd. Noticing his solitude, I invited Kronos to share his tales with some of the younger patrons, facilitating informal history sessions. To everyone's delight, Kronos thrived in this role, his tales providing entertainment and invaluable lessons on the consequences of time manipulation. His sessions grew popular, offering insights and warnings to those who dabbled in temporal travel. Inspired by these stories and others, I held a monthly gathering of tales at Phantom's Hollow, where patrons could share their stories, learn from each other, and celebrate our diversity. These gatherings strengthened our community and emphasized the Hollow's role as a sanctuary and meeting place for all. As I watched these stories unfold and saw their positive impact on the storytellers and the listeners, I felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Phantom's Hollow was more than a nexus of cosmic energies. It was a living, breathing space where lives intersected and were forever changed. Walking through the Hollow after one such gathering, I realized how these stories, each a thread in the vast tapestry of the multiverse, were woven together here under my guardianship. It was a deeply cherished responsibility that continually taught me about the power of community and the enduring strength of shared tales. As Joran settled into his role as a storyteller at Phantom's Hollow, his weekly storytelling nights became a cornerstone of the community. Patrons from across the multiverse gathered to hear his tales of the shifting sands, a desert in his home dimension that was alive, its dunes whispering secrets of ancient magic and lost civilizations. Joran's narratives were more than just entertainment. They were imbued with subtle magic, the remnants of his world's ancient spells. Listeners found themselves not just hearing about the shifting sands, but feeling the desert wind on their faces, smelling the fragrant spices of the marketplaces, and seeing the mirages of distant oases shimmering on the horizon. As Joran became a beloved figure within the Hollow, his plight to return and restore his dimension gained momentum. I, recognizing the potential to harness the collective resources of Phantom's Hollow, organized a council of dimensional mages and scholars to help Joran. Together, we delved into complex, arcane theories to develop a method to stabilize the temporal storms that plagued Joran's world. These sessions often lasted late into the night, fueled by copious amounts of cosmic coffee and the relentless determination of all involved. The breakthrough came unexpectedly during one of Joran's storytelling sessions, as he recounted a legend about the timeless sorcerer of the shifting sands, an ancient figure who had once calmed a century-long storm. A visiting mage from a dimension known for its temporal innovations connected the legend to a theoretical model of temporal stabilization. With this new knowledge, our team at Phantom's Hollow crafted a plan to create a device, dubbed the Temporal Anchor, that could potentially calm the storms ravaging Joran's world. The device would need to be charged with significant magical energy, the kind only possible through the collective effort of the Hollow's diverse patrons. The day arrived to activate the temporal anchor, and it felt like the entire community of Phantom's Hollow had come together for a common cause. Joran, standing at the center of the Hollow with me by his side, held the device as everyone focused their energy on it. The air vibrated with power as streams of light and magic flowed from the hands of the gathered crowd into the anchor. The unity and hope of the moment were palpable, a testament to the bonds forged within the hollow walls. With a flash of blinding light and a surge of released energy, the anchor activated, its pulse echoing through the dimensions. Joran, overwhelmed by emotion and gratitude, knew it was time to return home and complete the mission. A small team and I returned Joran to his dimension to deploy the anchor. As we arrived, the temporal storms were visibly calmer, and as Joran placed the anchor in the heart of the shifting sands, peace finally settled over the land. Returning to Phantom's Hollow, Joran is a hero. His story is one of hope and the power of community. He decided to stay at the Hollow, his home away from home, to continue sharing his world's rich culture and to give back to the community that had helped save his own. Joran's tale became legendary, symbolizing what could be achieved when diverse beings united for a common good. For me, it was a profound reminder of why I had taken on the role of guardian. Phantom's Hollow was not just a place of refuge, it was a place of miracles and magic, where anyone, no matter how lost, could find hope and a new beginning. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tales. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below and share your scary encounters. And consider joining the Fear Frequencies community for exclusive perks and early access to new content. Your support helps us create even more thrilling stories. And if you really enjoyed it, please consider leaving a super